Hello and welcome back here. Now we're getting into some more details about managing policies. So when we gather information from a client, we're going to create a policy as we did in the first module, but let's go ahead and see how we take this policy from a quoting status into an actual effective policy and how we keep track of those. So we'll go ahead and find Henry Johnson, and we see that we've got a policy created here. Let's go ahead and get into his apartment complex policy. Now, suppose you've gotten the quote, so what you'll do is attach it right here, simply by clicking Attach File, Browse, and Attach. You might have the quote, you might have the proposal, you might have some loss histories, you might have some photographs, you might have any documents that you want to store here. That's where you'd put them. Be sure to give them a good name as you attach them. There you go. Let's look at this to-do list. This is very important. There's no way you're ever going to remember to do things here, but you click on this to-do list, and over here on the right, we're going to go ahead and hit Add Task. And I like to give my task a very good description. Johnson, apartment, quote, follow up. Quote was emailed, need to call Henry to discuss. Now the great thing is you can assign it to yourself or any of the other users in your organization. That would be very helpful if you may not be around to do that. So let's go ahead and assume it's ours. The importance of the note, we'll leave that as normal. And the due date, let's go ahead and make that due on Monday the 10th. Go ahead and hit Save Changes. And you'll see that when you come back to the dashboard, here's your task. You're always going to see that on your dashboard. And of course, you can also see that in your task list. So this being the only task that we have. So let's go back into the task. And if you want to edit that task, you can see it's got a very, very nice editor. If we want to make it highlighted, or if we want to make it bold, or if we want to make it larger, make it much more obvious. So let's go ahead and leave it that way for now. Save that. If we want to add a note to the task, called and left him a message. There we go. We'll go ahead and save that. You can see that the task note is right here, which is different than a policy note. So now if we go back to the policy from here, now we're looking at the policy, we can see our task here. We can return to the task by simply clicking on the task details. There we are, looking at the task, looking at the policy. We can go to Henry Johnson. We can see this policy in the list. So that's the general navigation here. So now we've given him the quote, and so what we want to do is we want to change this policy from quoting status to quoted status. And we'll go ahead and save that. And what that tells the user is that the policy has now been quoted, and when we come to our dashboard and we look at the workflow, we can see policies that we're quoting versus policies that we have quoted. So let's go back into this policy. And so now Henry has decided he would love to go for this policy. And he's given us a payment. He has requested to bind coverage. And we got his signatures on the application and so on and so forth. We've attached them down here, but we have yet to obtain the loss history. So we're going to set this policy now as pending underwriter status. And now that we've got a policy number, we'll go ahead and put in a policy number here. And we're going to go ahead and put in a premium here with a policy fee, maybe an inspection fee, etc., etc. You can see that it will automatically calculate your pure premium, and then when you put in your commission percentage, it's going to calculate off of the pure premium. Naturally, those fees are not part of that. And then we can go down here, and the commission status is pending. Very important. We want to be able to follow up and catch our commissions as they come in from the insurance companies. and we can associate this policy with a particular insurance company, a particular general agent, etc. And now this is changed to pending underwriter, and we're going to go ahead and save this. Now when we go back to our dashboard, we can see that in pending underwriter status, there is Henry Johnson's Mountain View apartment. And we get back in here, we receive the loss histories, we go ahead and we attach them, we make a note about it. We'll go ahead and edit this policy. We will turn this into approved status, and we'll save that. And we return to the dashboard, and of course it's nowhere to be found until it comes up for renewal. When that policy comes up for renewal, it will show up here in the list. Currently it has a balance due, so it's going to show up in this column. It's no longer in underwriting. It is not an unbound renewal. It's not in the quoted status, but it does have a balance due. So let's go ahead and click on this. We're looking at the policy once again, and if you want to apply that payment, you click on Payments, post the payment. When the commission is received, you click on Commission, record commission, so on and so forth. So that's the general idea of taking a policy from quoting to pending to approved status. So thanks again for watching, and come on back for more.